Okay, I'm at 7477 Greenfarms Drive in Finneytown, Cincinnati, Ohio. Doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, basically anything that would be of concern to the buyer. Our access point is a stack in the far right corner of the basement, rear right corner of the basement, excuse me. So we're in the room with the air handler for the HVAC. And so I apologize for the noise, but I can't really do anything about it at this point. Just hope you can hear me well enough. So, you can see there is the clean out and there is the air handlers. So, this is cast iron, and I expect, see how dry all this is. I do expect this to switch over to clay as we exit the house. Cast iron is pretty rough, as you can see. It does rust, so you can never really tell how thin or thick the pipe walls are. But just kind of looking for any visible holes or like roots getting through it, stuff like that. Looks like this is holding shape relatively well. A lot of times you'll see real bad channeling and stuff on the bottom the older this stuff gets, and this all looks like it's holding shape rather well. There's a floor clean out in the front, just in front of the steps when you come down into the basement. But it seems to me like that may be maybe an old floor drain or something like that, because it's holding a bunch of water. So that line in the front must be some form of closed floor drain or something. We hope we have enough footage on the camera here to make it all the way out to the main. Most common thing we see, again, this is not a whole lot of water. The most common thing we see in these situations is root intrusion. So because this is a 6-inch diameter pipe, this amount of water is not a major deal. You should be able to see better as we pull back. Like I said, it's maybe a half an inch of water. to 100 feet, it makes it a little bit harder for that camera to jump. The water can overtake it easily, and they're usually, it's a normal thing to see on old clay lines is these you can see it's just so close that it's not even affecting flow at all, but for some reason my camera with a dull end on it doesn't want to jump it. It just wants to hit it and bend up and not actually jump over it. It's really weird. I think I got it. Okay. There we go. You can see that every one of these has something similar. And what happens is when they connect these lines to get it to get pitch on it to drop, they rotate these sections inside the male and the female end. There's some clay in it, and so they can kind of get turn downs or turn left or right with it. And so there's always a little bit of a lip there as they're doing that. So sometimes it gets caught up a little bit. So the big thing is that we at least get off the property and make sure that we're at a point where anything beyond that point is a responsibility of the sewer district, but I feel like we should be getting rather close to the main here. So you can see it's very, very minor. But the camera at the angle it's at does not want to go. And with that being out, 130 feet, it just does not want to make that jump. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to try to run some water that may help a little bit. And then I'm going to also get a locate to find out exactly where I am and see if I'm at least off the property or how close I am to the sanitary main down the street. Okay, we are like right at the borderline where MSD will take over ownership. So we're just hoping to get a little water running here. I can get a few more feet just to be sure that we're in the street. And then we'll try to get all the way to the main. Doesn't seem like it should be much to get this camera to go over it, but if needed, I could probably pull back and see if I can get put a little standoff on the camera, and maybe that'll help it go a little better. We did run some water, so should have some water show up shortly. We are out quite a bit. It's frustrating because it's not any kind of defect. It's just right where the line goes into. It almost looks like this is right where it goes into concrete here. It is. So it looks like this would be right where it changes over into concrete, unless that's a little bit of debris. If it is where it changes material, that would be where the municipality would take over responsibility. But, hopefully we'll start seeing some evidence of that water getting down to us soon. property, and this would be the responsibility of MSD. About 150 feet, but the footage is measured by the rotation of the drum. That means I'm in the pipe 145 feet, 146 or so. So I'm going to go verify by a locate that we are within. Looks like if you look up there, we're about one section away from the main. And so I'm going to go verify that. I should be well within 10 feet of the main and off the property, and from here out would be the responsibility of the Metropolitan Sewer District either way. I would make a move over to the other clean out, but that clean out, like I mentioned earlier, has some sort of a trap or something on it. I believe it's for the storm coming in, because there's no way for me to get my camera through it, and it doesn't go directly into this line like it should. So shouldn't say like it should, but like I would expect. So we're going to, again, I'm going to verify where we are to make sure we're completely off the property and we're within a few feet of the main, and then we'll come back and finish the inspection. The good news is the line looked great. I didn't see any defects at all, which is not something you normally see on a line this age. So again, we're going to verify the spot and finish the inspection. All right. Line looks great. And we are about 7 feet from the main. We're out in the street, off the property. And so, like I mentioned before, this is not the responsibility of the homeowner at this point, but it is wide open, and we can see far enough ahead that we're actually looking almost into the main. It's just outside of the light shining, so we can see enough of the pipe that I feel comfortable that we've seen essentially all the way to the main, as we can see that far in front of us. You can see within like 2 feet of the main, and so, like I said, it was 7 feet before the main. It was out in the street, about in the center of the lane, closest to the yard. But again, this line looked great. You have a little bit of stuff like that where you have some calcite or mineral deposits. A few spots where you have a little bit of offset on a connection. Not offset, but where they've had turn downs, where they're turning down the clay lines to get deeper, just like that. But it doesn't obstruct flow at all. inspection about every 3 feet. So they just kind of slowly rotate the line down to get deeper and deeper. Toilet paper, water, and all that easily overtakes that. It's very normal to have. There's just enough clay in those connections that they, again, use them as they turn them to get the desired drop or turn by moving one connection inside another enough. Due to that connection. That's with that water running, that was the only reason it was overtaking the camera lens. Again, that's only a half of an inch. Cast iron looks really good too. It is wide open. No structural issues. Not even really any channeling along the bottom, which I mentioned earlier was pretty common. Now I do want to note, cast iron is a lot more susceptible to soft clogs, meaning don't use any wet wipes or, female products, paper towels. As long as you only use toilet paper, natural materials, everything will be fine. It's just that it's more likely, because of how rough the inside of the pipe is, it's just more likely to catch things and cause soft clogs from excessive toilet paper or wet wipes, stuff like that. This is wide open and there's no obstruction everything looks great. So that'll end the inspection at 7477